Welcome everyone, this is Megan Hagedorn from the Marks Group Live. Excited to be here today teaching to you getting started with Zoho Analytics. After this training is over, please feel free to email us at support@marksgrouplive.com for any questions on this subject. Please be sure to rate this class as well. It's going to help out your fellow Zoho users and allow us to improve our video library. So here are some of the main points we'll be discussing today. First, Zoho Analytics is an application that allows you to create and run reports and visualizations on data. You can import data from local files, business apps, custom apps, and more. We'll talk about all of the options there. They make it pretty straightforward and easy to import data. You can create custom and detailed reports, charts, and pivot tables based on this data. So I'll show you really quickly how to do that. And then we can create dashboards which show multiple visuals on a single page. And then finally we can use Ask Zia to automatically generate visualizations. So let's get started with this. We're just at zoho.com right now. And we can click View All Products and get to our analytics application. Where's our link to it? Oh, here we go. Access Zoho Analytics. Sorry about that. And the shortcut to this is analytics.zoho.com. But if you need to set this up for the first time, that is how you would get to this space. So we've got a couple things here already, a couple of different workspaces and a couple of different, quite a few dashboards actually. But we can import data by selecting this green button. And we have a ton of options here. We can import data from Excel, CSV, XML, etc. We can import data from a drive, Zoho Docs, Google Drive, Dropbox, Box, and OneDrive. We can use cloud databases, local databases, Zoho CRM, Salesforce, Dynamics, all sorts of stuff here. So you can scroll down to see the full list. This is also really awesome and helpful for looking at survey results. Unfortunately, I don't have any credentials for SurveyMonkey or SurveyGizmo or any of this stuff, but this would be a great way to analyze the results from a survey as well. We can select also from these categories. So if we click Zoho Apps, we're going to see all of our options here. And we're going to set up Zoho People. So first, and we don't have a lot of information in Zoho People, but we do have a little bit. So we can select the required forms and their corresponding fields that we want to bring in here, then set up the time for periodic data fetching, and then finally analyze and create reports and dashboards for our data. We give our workspace a name. I'm just going to leave that as is. We can give it a description. It does auto-populate one. Then we need to select the organization from which to grab data from. You might just have one here, like us, and you can just leave that. Then we need to select the forms that we want to bring in. I think automatically it's going to select a lot here. But we can also bring in, I don't think we even have any information in here, so we can't click it, but you could also bring in these other forms. And again, this is just from Zoho People, so might look a little different if you're pulling it from a specific, a non-Zoho application. And then from here, we can select the form and then the fields that we want to bring in from that form. I'm just going to leave everything as is. And then we need to specify when we want to fetch data from Zoho People. We can say every day, every 3 hours, every 6 hours, or every 12 hours, or not schedule it at all. I'm just going to leave this as is. And then we click Create. There's some other additional information on the right here. This is specific to Zoho People, but depending on what you select or what data source you select for importing data, there will be different information here. Now we have a little successfully set up message. We're going to click OK. And now we've got our data link to Zoho People, and we can view reports based on this data. So if we select the employee dashboard, or the employee table rather, we're going to see, yeah, we don't have a lot of information on here, but this is how you would set up a link to data. I'm going to actually scoot over from Zoho People to Zoho CRM reports, because I know that has data that we can look at. So if I opened up contacts, we're going to see a table of all of our contacts in Zoho CRM. We can filter, sort, add and delete from here as well. We've got more options here. We can also share this data, send it in an email, export it, etc. From here we can comment on this as well. We can select Explorer, and that'll take us back to this kind of file view. So we've got our Zoho CRM modules, the tables that we can access. And then we've got dashboards, reports that we can access as well. So if I select dashboards in the left-hand menu here, and if I just select overview, we're going to see a bunch of different visualizations that's using, and this is pulling directly from Zoho CRM for this data, so it's accurate. So we've got our, again, this is just a test instance, so we've got our target at 2.5 million, and we are not meeting that, as you can see in this visualization. We can see closed revenue. We can see all of this information in a really nice dashboard view, and this is just giving us a great breakdown of data. Number of deals, monthly sales reports that we can actually, really cool, we can select this right here. We can say January of 2018. I don't think there's going to be anything in here, but well, there is a couple things in here actually. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, we had all months selected, but that's fine. So we've got all of our months for 2018. I don't know why 2012. Oh, 2012 sales is shown by default. There we go. But we can actually use these drop-down menus to kind of run these mini reports on the fly, which is super cool. And this is just an out-of-the-box overview dashboard. We can edit this, change the theme, create a new dashboard. All this can be done in Zoho Analytics. So we've got all sorts of different themes here. That's just purely, you know, appearance changes, but so we can do that. You can edit the design by selecting this button, and that's going to give us all sorts of options here. I won't get into too much detail in here since this was just a getting started video. But that's how we access different reports. And again, we're in the Zoho CRM reports kind of database. So we could go, again, I don't know if we have much information in Zoho, people, but I do not want to change it before we leave. So let's see if we have any information in our overview dashboard. We've got 3 employees in our system. We've got we can see growth rate, churn rate, female and male employee breakdown, employees joining in the next 90 days or leaving in the next 90 days, the hiring for the year, hiring for the month, etc. And we've got some additional reporting information here. So like I said, this will change. These overview dashboards and other dashboards will change depending on the kind of database or the data source you're pulling from. So Explorer gives us this kind of file view where we can select different dashboards, different tables from this kind of tabular expand and minimize menu here. We can see reports here as well. So this is the Explorer view. We can directly go to dashboards by selecting this button. We can go directly to reports by selecting this button. We see a ton of different reports here. We can do pipeline versus expected sales. If we can select the underlying data button to see the records that it's pulling from to collect this information or to graph this information. We can change the chart really quickly just by selecting these different buttons here. Depending on the icon that's shown next to the report name, it's going to show us different data. And then we can click the Create button to create a new a new table or import data, which is what we did initially in this training video. We can also query a table using SQL. We can create a chart view, a new pivot view, summary view, tabular view, or dashboard just by selecting any of these options. And then we can auto-generate reports by selecting any of these options. And I touched on Ask Zia in the takeaways section, so we can select this button right here. And we're going to see some suggested questions, some recent questions, so we can select that. And it's going to give us some little widgets that are going to kind of answer that for us. So if I get rid of this and say revenue in 2018, it'll give us a quick answer here, and then we can view a breakout of the widget information. I really like this. I think this is really neat. So we said revenue in 2018. That can mean a couple of different things. So in this case, it means this is talking about the closing date is 2018. This is only applying to the one amount in deals. So I think that's really neat. We can click this button to show our suggested questions again. So super cool stuff here with Ask Zia, so feel free to play around with this. We can also select this data button, and this is going to, again, just open the straight up tables directly from CRM. So this is our accounts table. This is just showing the account name, the owner, account type, industry, website, etc. We can add columns here, formula or aggregate columns. We can format these columns. So many options in Zoho Analytics, and I encourage you to kind of play around with this. I think it's a really fun application and certainly helpful. All right, so to summarize, Zoho Analytics is an app that allows you to create and run reports on data that you can import from numerous sources. So we can import data from local files, business applications, custom applications. We can query things using SQL. We have a lot of options here. From here we can create detailed reports, charts, and pivot tables based on this data. Dashboards can show multiple visuals on a single page, and we can use Ask Zia to automatically generate visualizations. Alright, so I hope this was helpful for you. Please check out our video library for other tips and training videos just like this one. If you have any suggestions for this video or for other classes, please feel free to email us at support@marksgrouplive.com. You can also email us for questions about this video or any other questions you might have about Zoho at support@marksgrouplive.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this was helpful.